First of all, thank you for coming on. I would imagine this is the last place you ever thought you would be on.
Oh, never in a million years did I think that this would happen.
Right. You are a Democrat, you were a Democrat. You're an independent now, and we had an argument back and forth. It's my understanding that you are still going to be voting for a Democrat or possibly voting. You haven't changed to a Trump supporter or voter, right?
Well, I really don't know. I mean, I frankly don't know who my options are in the general election. And I think that there are absolutely some pretty high profile contenders that I will not vote for under any circumstances. So we'll see.
So tell the story for anybody who didn't read. Tell your story.
Yeah, so I had been going on this journey for the past, 6 months or so where I was really starting to feel very uncomfortable in an echo chamber that I had created for myself. And I started listening to just different conservative voices. And they kind of all culminated when I decided to go to the Trump rally in Manchester, New Hampshire last week. I thought if there's anything, I can't think of anything bigger I could do to break out of my very liberal echo chamber. And everyone that I talked to about this idea was genuinely concerned for my safety, and that includes people on the left and the right. They were both really concerned that I was going to be physically harmed at this rally, either by the supporters or by Antifa or whoever. But I decided to go anyway, and I discovered that, hey, shocker, they're just average, normal people that are really, really nice and welcoming. And so I wrote about it.
And you said at one point you thought those people were despicable and even deplorables.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I definitely went through a phase, probably for about a year and a half, where I really thought that, anyone who supported President Trump was at best supporting racism and at worst downright racist themselves. Yeah.
Wow. And where did that come from?
I was watching a lot of MSNBC.
Okay. All right. And then why did you become uncomfortable?
Well, I'm a knitter, and in the knitting community, and I know this sounds bizarre, but it is a hyper-political community at the moment where they have these kind of roving gangs of social justice warriors just attacking people and mobbing them indiscriminately. And Stop.
You're asking me to process way too much. First of all,
I know.
Most people didn't even know that there was an online knitting community. And now I'm seeing knitters and roving gangs of something just doesn't fit here. It's not what I expect.
Well, listen, I understand the feeling because I didn't expect it either.
Right.
But I started seeing this happen just over and over and over again. And at some point, I started speaking up within the knitting community and saying, guys, this is wrong. We shouldn't be doing this. And then they came after me. And at that point, and I didn't get it as badly as a lot of people did. But at some point, I just said, I cannot align myself with these people politically. It's wrong what they're doing.
You talked about how one person was bullied so bad online that they became suicidal.
Yes. Yeah.
What were the arguments about?
So in his case in particular, he started speaking up when the mobbings first started happening. And I swear I'm not making this up. All he did was post a poem on Instagram asking for kindness and asking for people to just see each other as human beings. And he was mobbed by thousands and thousands of people. And when he eventually did go into the hospital, and then his husband posted on Instagram that, please stop the hate. He's in the hospital. And it just got worse and kept escalating after that. So it was really too bad. But thankfully, he seemed to have really rebounded and now is getting a lot of support from people like me.
So who are these people that are in these roving mobs?
They're people on the very far left that anytime something sticks out to them that is outside of their ideology, they try to pressure people into kind of bending the knee and issuing these massive apologies and, pointing out all the areas where they are wrong in their lives and transphobic and homophobic and fatphobic and all these things. And it's just to be blunt, I think they're kind of just horrible, miserable people that want to make other people miserable as well.
Boy, you're starting to sound like a conservative.
I know.
Because, this is the thing that really we've been warning about. There's disagreements on things disagreements on policies we can go on. But when you're trying to shut people up and you do it through fear and intimidation, it's a very foreign kind of concept to America. That's not who we were. That's not what made us great. That's not what made us big. And anyone who's doing it on any side is really engaging in some really dangerous stuff, because it always ends the same way.
I totally agree. And when people started telling me to shut up specifically, that was when I started really taking a look at it. Because for me, expression is a gift that we've all been given. And if you want to change people's minds, you have to do it through conversation, not through intimidation.
So you said the day you went to the Trump rally, MSNBC was there. And so you wanted to... you wanted to go among some familiar territory first. So you went, and what was your experience there that morning?
Well, I was wearing a red hat that looks kind of like a Trump hat that says "Make speech free again." It's my little protest against cancel culture. Mm-hmm. And, it's always a conversation starter, and people struck up a conversation. And I said, I'm thinking about going over to the Trump rally. And they were like, don't do it. They're going to hurt you. They're going to harass you. And one woman even offered me her pepper spray. And I just said, I think I'm going to be fine. It's going to be okay.
So what were your thoughts? Because I'm sure these people were being genuine.
Yes.
So what were your thoughts on that, especially somebody of your profession, that you look and say, these people genuinely care about my safety. They're really warning me, and it's almost unhinged from reality.
Well, yeah, and I think that when literally every single person around you is in fear of your safety, it's really hard not to question and say, what are they seeing that I don't see? But it's also an indication that I knew I had to do it at that point, because I knew I had to see for myself what was going on.